Labor Day was no Labor Day for the Athletics. A nearly 4-hour contest was no holiday for the green and gold. Bob Melvin and the boys worked extremely hard for a win as the never-say-die Houston Astros kept climbing back into the game. But Sean Doolittle closed the door. He got his first save in nearly a year. Tonight, the A's will see a familiar face in Scott Kazmir as he makes the start against his former team, and he will be opposed by the A's ace, Sonny Gray. It's a matchup on the mound. Kazmir and the Astros taking on Sonny and the A's, and it starts right now. It is an unusually hot night here at the HOU at OAK Coliseum, and we got a marquee pitching matchup. Scott Kazmir for the Astros, and he will be opposed by Sonny Gray for the Athletics. This should be a lot of fun tonight. Big-time pitching matchup in Game 2 of this 3-game series. It's the Astros and the Athletics coming up on CSN California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Eric Chavez, I'm Glenn Kuiper. So you saw the two pitchers tonight, and we are indeed looking forward to that. Scott Kazmir will be making his 9th start with the Astros. He's pitched pretty well, doesn't have a lot of wins to show for it, but that's kind of the way it's been for Kazmir all season long. Yeah, and he's just really pitching to some bad luck, but we know he's one of the better left-handed starters. For the last year and a half, he's pitched tremendous for the Oakland A's. Went over there. Now the Houston Astros, since he's gotten there, have had the best ERA in the American League. So he knows how to win. He's a dominating left-handed pitcher, and these two are best of friends. And that's what makes this so interesting. Sonny Gray looking for his 13th win of the year and spinning an elusive 13th win. He has gone 4 starts without a win, which is hard to believe with Sonny Gray because he's got such terrific stuff. But that 13th win has been hard to come by. Yeah, it really has. And he has. He's slowed down just a little bit, but I'm not too concerned. His stuff is there. And once they find out these two guys were facing each other, you can believe the text messages were flying. But both of these guys have a lot on the line today. Kazmir's trying to get the Astros to the playoffs, and Sonny's going for the Cy Young Award. All right, so the Astros, their lead in the West over the Rangers is now down to just 2 games. So, indeed, they need to win tonight. Sonny Gray's thinking otherwise. So we'll have lineups in first pitch when we return to the HOU at OAK Coliseum. Kazmir and Gray set to square off in Game 2 of the series. We'll be back.
KSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Sonny Gray and the A's are set to try to make it 2 in a row over the first place Houston Astros. And Sonny looking for his 13th win of the year. But before we tell you about Sonny Gray, we're going to tell you about the weather. And check out the number that's going to pop up on your screen. 85 degrees. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. It is steamy hot, folks. I can't think of a night where it's been warmer. 85 degrees. It's a little bit humid. And it's supposed to stay this way for the rest of this week. So we'll see if the baseball is flying tonight with the very, very hot weather. The lineup tonight for the Houston Astros: George Springer, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, Carlos Gomez, Jed Lowry, Evan Gattis, Luis Valbuena. He's going to play first base. Hank Conger's your catcher, and then Jake Marisnick. There's your Houston Astros starting lineup.
And the Astros will be facing Sonny Gray. He's 12-7 on the year with a 2.36 ERA. He's got a 3-game losing streak going, looking to bounce back from probably his worst outing of the year, his last outing versus the Angels. But you can bet he's really motivated today to beat his good friend and his mentor, Scotty Kazmir.
A's defense tonight behind Sonny Gray has Smolinski in left, Burns in center, Reddick in right, Valencia at third, Simeon at short, Laurie at second, Canna at first, and Fegley is your catcher. Spanish audio for tonight's game is available through your SAP button, and that's presented by Jack Daniels. So Sonny wrapping up his warm-up tosses. A's won a wild one yesterday on Labor Day. Final score of 10-9. And it was a nail-biter right down to the finish. The A's got the win, and these two teams have split the first 14 games against each other. With 2 more to play here, and then 3 in Houston on the next road trip for the Athletics. So Springer steps in. We're set for baseball. There's your umpires. Brian Onora is calling balls and strikes, and he is also the crew chief. So Sonny gets the sign, he kicks, and here's the first pitch of the ball game to Springer, and it's a swing and a foul back and a fastball.
First pitch, 7:08.
So 7:08 first pitch from the Coliseum. Springer 13 home runs and 29 runs batted in. He was 1 for 4 yesterday. This is his 4th game back from the disabled list. Altuve to follow, and then Carlos Correa. Fouled straight back on a fastball, 1-2. A.J. Hinch and his Astros in first place in the AL West, but it's getting tight. Rangers just 2 back. Coming into tonight's action, 75-63 are the Astros.
A.J. trying to find the winning way on the road for them. They've been struggling.
At 27-39 on the road. We talked about it yesterday, and this is game 2 of a 10-game road trip for the Astros. Angels 5.5 back, Mariners 9 back. Astros with the 4th best record in the American League. And that one is ripped toward right center. Burns on the move, and Billy Burns makes a nice play on a hard hit ball by George Springer. So 1 out. The last time the A's, or the last time Sonny Gray got a win, it was against these Astros on August 7th. And it was a complete game 5-hitter. Gave up just 1 run. Threw 107 pitches, had 5 strikeouts. He was terrific. But since then, he's lost to Baltimore, got a no decision against Tampa Bay, lost to Arizona, and lost to the Angels. Numbers against Houston here in his career: very good. Altuve hitting .312 with 11 home runs, 56 RBIs. He was 0 for 4 last night, or yesterday. Popped up, shallow right. Reddick calls off Laurie, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Carlos Correa.
Batting in the 3rd position.
Yeah, Sonny Gray's the kind of guy, we've seen it in the postseason.
Carlos Correa.
He will rise to an occasion.
Definitely.
Whatever it may be. And in this case, you're facing a good friend, an old teammate, Scott Kazmir.
And the A's fans have definitely gotten used to that. I think so has the A's players. He is a big-time pitcher. Their ace. And you could tell today early on he's got a good light fastball up in the zone around 94.
ERA leaders, Keuchel is 1st, Sonny Gray is 2nd, Scott Kazmir is 4th. Talked a lot about the American League Cy Young Award and who the top candidates are. Keuchel, just one man's opinion, but Keuchel may be the top choice right now.
I think so. I would agree with you.
David Price having a very nice season. Keuchel, Price, Sonny Gray. And wins are not always the guarantee of winning the award, but when all other numbers are fairly equal, then wins do come into play. And in this case, I think it is an issue. Sonny Gray's got 12. Keuchel's got 17. Felix Hernandez, he's got 16 wins. 3-0 pitch strike. And don't forget about David Price. David Price's numbers are very, very good.
Yeah.
14 and 5.
I think you're right. He could sneak in there.
Yes,
definitely.
he could.
Yeah. Especially with that offense, you know they're going to score runs for him.
In the air, right side again. Reddick is under it. He's got it. Side retired. 3 up, 3 down inning for Sonny Gray. Bottom of the 1st coming up. And the A's will face their old friend, Scott Kazmir, when we come back. Center. Canna at first, Laurie at second, Valencia at third. Butler will DH hit the 5th spot. Then Fegley, Reddick, Smolinski, and Simeon.
And the A's will be facing Scotty Kazmir, their former teammate, and he was very good in his short time with the A's. This year he's 7-9 with a 2.50, and he will be facing his old team for the first time since being traded. His win total isn't that high, but he's really pitched with some bad luck. He's trying to help pitch the Astros to the playoffs, and they haven't been there since 2005.
So Kazmir's ready to face his old team as Billy Burns steps in. Corner infielders in, and yeah, that's George Springer, the right fielder, right there. And okay, it's official. That's the most shallow we've ever had an outfielder play. I mean, seriously.
Hit it over. I want to see him hit it over his head and see what we got here.
Oh,
got some action early.
And what we have seen with the Astros is what they do is they play the off-field outfielder extremely shallow.
Yeah.
On almost every hitter.
Yeah, because there's not too many hitters that have a lot of power going straight opposite field. They may have some to center, to right center, but not straight opposite field. So it's paid off for them. I haven't seen them get burnt by it just yet, and they've taken a lot of hits away from the A's.
I mean, it's unbelievable how shallow he's playing. And Marisnik, the left fielder, is playing a fairly normal depth.
Right. And if Billy was batting left-handed, we'd see the exact opposite from the outfielders.
Line foul. Burns 295, 3 homers, 34 RBIs. 2 for 5 yesterday, I should say, with a couple of RBIs. Scored a run. An early battle here, Burns and Scott Kazmir.
We did talk about who's got the leg up when you're facing an old teammate, and you know, I said earlier that the hitters do, but if the pitcher makes his pitches, regardless of what you know what's coming, if it's a good pitch, you're not going to hit.
Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up. And this one's hit towards Springer. Foul territory. He's got it, and that's the first down. Here's how that defense lines up. Marisnik, Gomez, Springer in the outfield. Lowry, Correa, Altuve, Valbuena on the infield, and Hank Conger is your catcher. So a few changes in the infield for the Astros tonight. Hank Conger behind the plate. Jed Lowry back in the lineup. Inside to Mark Canha. 256 for Canha with 13 home runs, 57 RBIs. He's a hot hitter. 2 hits yesterday, including a home run. He's got 7 hits in his last 16 at bats. Facing Scott Kazmir. He's made that trade on the 23rd of July. A couple of minor leaguers in the deal. Nottingham, a catcher, very highly thought of. Henry Mengden, the right-hander. The numbers for Kazmir with the Athletics: 20-14 with a terrific ERA of 3.12.
And the way he did pitch with that ERA, the win total should be higher. But pitch with a lot of bad luck, blown saves, not a lot of run support.
Yeah, I mean, you have the 4th best ERA in the American League, and your record is 7-9.
Yeah, not good. No support. Defense letting you down probably a little bit too with the errors early on in the year.
1-2 pitch, and it's line to right, and that's a base hit. But good job of hitting by Mark Canha. He's got a good, strong right field stroke.
He does. He pulls the ball extremely well. We've seen him get on top of some high pitches. This one, he just protects the plate. Short swing, head down, line drive to right. Thank goodness Springer wasn't playing him where he was playing Billy, or else that would have been a pretty close play. But Mark's really coming into his own right now.
So runner aboard. Here's Lowry. That changeup from Kazmir in first strike. Laurie at 275 with 15 home runs, 56 RBIs. Hitting in the 3rd spot. Valencia to follow for the A's. On a hot night at the ballpark. We're a big crowd tonight. Swing and a miss. 91 miles an hour.
Fastball down out of the zone. Brett expanding just a little bit. Brett has been one of the hottest hitters. His swing has been right on point. Just missing foul balls. Goes down with a good slider right there.
So Kazmir gets his first strikeout. 2 away here in the 1st. And here's Valencia. That's a good slider there.
Yeah, and he's got 3 really good pitches. He spots that fastball extremely well. He can get over that changeup, and then he can put you away with that slider. So he's got 3 really above average pitches.
Kazmir's 31 years old. This is his 9th year in the big leagues. So he's really at an age that he's right in the middle of his career. He's been through a lot.
Really has.
He's going to be a good free agent pickup for somebody, and it very well may be the Houston Astros. We'll see. He was born in Houston, lives in that area, so that certainly is in the Astros' favor. Nothing wrong with sleeping in your own bed.
Yeah, and there's a lot that can happen though in the next month and a half, 2 months, hopefully, for this team. They're wanting to get to the playoffs.
Well, till you get to the playoffs, and there's a little more revenue coming in for your organization. That certainly makes a difference.
Yeah, and this was not the year that we got to go out and win this year. It kind of snuck up on people, and they try to take advantage of the situation by adding Kazmir, Fires, Gomez. With all their young core that they have, they did arrive about a year early.
And with Gomez and Fires, you're going to have those guys next year. Fires you could have for 5 more years.
Yeah. And I really do. That Fires pickup was a real good one.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Scott Kazmir, but he will be a highly sought after free agent. Three and 2 the count to Valencia, so Canna will take off at first. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's drilled toward right center, and that's going to get down for a hit. Gomez cuts it off, fires it back into second, and the A's have first and third, 2 outs. So another good job of hitting as Valencia just went the other way.
It looked like a changeup, and it was. It was a 3-2. Danny recognizing it early, staying on it, not trying to do too much with it, going the opposite way. And
that swing looked like he was looking for a change.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. Yeah. And that's why I say I think the advantage can go to the hitters, because I think the pitcher's tendencies and what they may or may not do. And you're right. I think he was looking for that pitch.
Change up to Billy Butler is low. .249 for Butler, 10 homers, 51 RBIs. He's been swinging the bat well as of late. 12 hits in his last 25 at bats. That's good for an 8-game hitting streak. Good numbers versus Kazmir in his career. 11 for 32. right on the outside corner with a fastball. Butler doesn't like the call.
This was a fastball away, and he dotted it on the outside part of the plate. Billy thought it was a little bit high, maybe away. It was a good pitch, though.
Chops slowly to the shortstop. Correa waits, flips it across, side retired. So the A's get a couple hits in strand two, and we are scoreless after one from the Coliseum. Spanish-speaking children from nonprofit organizations the opportunity to interact with a Spanish-speaking A's player before select home games. In addition to the pregame chat, each child receives a game ticket and an A's cap. Now, before today's game, children from the Spanish Citizen Foundation met with A's pitchers Fernando Rodriguez and Arnold Leon. A's Amigos is supported by Kelly Moore Paints. For more information, click on the community page at athletics.com. So a very nice program put together by the A's Amigos. The two gentlemen are. So second inning, Gray and Kazmir hooking up, no score. It'll be Carlos Gomez, Jed Lowry, Evan Gattis. First pitch, Gomez swing and a miss.
And there's that big swing where he goes down to his knee. He either goes down to his knee or he loses his helmet, one of the two. And he's trying to find himself. He really hasn't found his swing since coming here from Milwaukee.
And that one is ripped into the corner fair.
Right on cue.
So if you believe in jinx, then Eric Chavez just jinxed Sonny Gray. But I don't believe in that, so I'm just throwing it out there.
Batting in the fifth position.
Looks like it was another high fastball, and Carlos swinging through the first one says, I'm not going to miss this one. Was sitting dead red and always animated.
See, the problem is, Eric, there are people out there who think that that was your fault.
They're probably right. Because I threw the pitch.
Yeah, you did. You did. You threw a flat something up there. Here's Jed Lowry. 255, 8 homers, 24 RBIs for Lowry. That's just his 50th game. Spent a lot of time on the injured list this year.
It's like the Gatorade bottle that takes a beating by the hitters. It's always the Gatorade bottle's fault.
That's right. So 2-0 the count. Lowry, the first of a 3-year contract with the Houston Astros. got to keep an eye on Gomez. He's not afraid to take off.
This whole Astros team is not afraid to take off. I think they lead the league in steals.
Yes, they do. They have 103 stolen bases. And it's not just that Altuve guy. Other guys who will run. Outside corner strike. So 3-1 the count. So first in steals, second in home runs, most in strikeouts, and fifth in total runs scored. So a very interesting offensive team.
Yeah, and we talked about contributions from the whole lineup. They have 10 different guys with at least 10 homers. So they're getting it from up and down the lineup.
And that one is driven toward left center. Smolinski hustles over and makes the catch. So 1 out here in the second inning. Here's our Geico quote of the game, and it has to do with Carlos Gomez and what he says about his style of play. If you misunderstand the way I play the game, it's your fault. I don't care how the other teams feel. I only care how my team feels, and the only thing I know is all my teammates love me.
Yeah. I think if that quote was coming from his teammates, I think it would mean a lot more.
That's a good call.
You know,
that's a good call. We don't know that
right.
His teammates don't care.
Right. And he does have a different style of game. It's very aggressive, flamboyant, but he does come to play hard every single day. I don't know what he's like in the clubhouse. I don't know what his teammates think about him. But I'm sure when things are going good and it's winning, that energy can be good.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're going bad and you hit a little lull, I think, you know, I think teammates can kind of think it's a little bit tired, but.
Well, he has had issues with a number of different teams.
Right.
And, you know, it's a tough read.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him, too, though. He has been around a while to where he can, I don't want to say has a right to do it,
well,
but he has earned the right.
Yeah, it's no secret anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done this since day one. Two 2-0 to Evan Gattis.
And there are young guys in this game that feel entitled as soon as they get here, right when they put on a uniform. And there's always been a few of those guys forever. It's not a new thing, but obviously with the league going younger, there's just more younger guys, and you know they do feel like they belong here. And you used to have to earn your stripes, and not so much anymore. You just walk into a clubhouse and there you go.
Gattis tries to hold up, and he did. Close pitch. Mark Ripperger says no swing.
I think he went. I think that barrel crossed the plate. Yeah, I think that's a swing.
So the count 3-0. 1 out here in the top of the second.
But I go back to about the veterans, and some of the veterans that aren't a part of the team anymore. They set the tone. They, you know, they put their guys in the right place and show them the ropes, and now there's not those guys anymore.
Well, this is one of the things that happened this year. This was just last week in New York, and that right there did not sit well with the Yankee dugout. So, yeah, I mean, it's a interesting conversation piece, certainly. I don't think he means any harm to the other team, but you can also see where another team may say, all right, you know what, that's a little bit of a tired act. But he's saying, this is the way I am, and you know it.
Right. Get him out.
So maybe nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Who knows? And he runs. The throw is not made, and have been a little interference. Now the pitch was called a ball, but they're going to send Gomez back to second base. So here's the pitch. It's called a ball.
Not really sure.
Huh.
I'm a little confused by this one too. I'm not really sure.
Well, it's interesting because there
first baseman
didn't look like there was any contact made, which
No.
doesn't necessarily mean it is or is not interference. But he didn't throw it either. Oh, he hit the umpire.
Gotcha. Okay.
Interesting.
I've never seen that before. That's the first time I've ever seen that. What do you put that down as? Umpire's
A walk.
interference?
Very interesting. So 2 on 1 out for Luis Valbuena. Fastball up and away. So again, Gaddis ends up walking. We do know that for sure.
Yeah.
22 home runs for Valbuena. Just a 209 average. A couple of those home runs against the Athletics. He does not get cheated. He's not going to shorten up the swing a whole lot. So 1-1 the count. Hank Conger will be next.
Yeah, today's game is a little bit different. You know, my first few years, I was tippy-toeing around this league. You had guys like Pedro Martinez, Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, and if they saw something they didn't like from you, they'd let you know.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but if you were in the opposing dugout, and you were not long ago, would the Gomez act, or whatever we want to call it, would it bother you? And you were a pretty low-key player, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you were not a
Yeah.
flamboyant type player.
No, I just like guys that bring the energy and play hard every single day. You never see him lollygag in the field. He's always running hard. And
No, I don't think energy and playing hard, that's not his issue. If there is an issue at all. He certainly does that.
Yeah, I really don't have a problem with him. I can understand. I can see why other teams would be bothered by it. But in a sense, he's right. As long as his teammates respect the way he goes about his game and they have his back, that's all that matters.
I do know this, and we've seen it with pitchers. They do not like the hitter after popping the ball up,
Right.
doing the bat flip. Oh, I just missed it. Well, that's going to irritate a pitcher.
Right.
And Gomez did a little bit of that.
Well, it's upon the pitcher to take care of that then, you know?
Right.
I don't know what the score is, what that game. I don't know if the Astros had a big lead, and, you know, I could see that would bother the New York Yankees, but
it's those unwritten baseball rules that are very unwritten.
it's true. And they've loosened up a lot. They've loosened up a lot. I mean, the celebrations in the dugout with the home runs.
Or how about at home plate?
That's bugged me more than anything.
I mean, Valbuena with a walk, so now the bases are loaded. Very few guys just cross home plate and head to the dugout anymore on home runs, and again, that's the way it is now.
Yeah, it's a sad. There's a lot of me in this game right now.
Batting in the 8th position.
This is a team game, and it's all about winning baseball games. And
you know which one I like? Is when, and this could be in any sport. This is football, basketball, baseball. Is when he does something good and they point at the back of their shirt,
right.
as in where your name is.
Right.
Never quite understood that one. Conger takes a strike. Good breaking ball from Sonny Gray. So Sonny in some trouble. Double and a couple of walks, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. Conger 213, 10 home runs, 27 RBIs. He's a switch hitter. And another good pitch. This was a little cut fastball at 89 miles an hour, but it was a good one right on the outside corner.
Yeah, Sonny's struggling with his command just a little bit. Comes back with a good pitch right there. Get ahead of Conger. Wants to try to put him away right here. They do strike out a whole lot as a team.
Good breaking ball, and Conger chased it. But once Sonny Gray got ahead, you had a pretty good feeling that he was going to drop that nasty breaking pitch at some point, and he did.
Yeah, it's almost like Sonny said, all right, that's enough. And this is what power pitchers, good pitchers can do. They get in trouble, but they have the ability to strike out or get the double play ball when they need it. Sonny coming up with a big strikeout right there.
So now it's Jake Marisnick. Marisnick 241, 9 homers, 32 RBI. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 94 miles an hour. Marisnick with a long home run yesterday.
Yeah, they put up a pretty good fight. Good comeback yesterday.
Popped up. Valencia into foul territory. He's got it inside, retired. So Sonny Gray gets out of the bases loaded 1 out jam. Bottom of the second coming up, no score. Photo, use hashtag CSNCA Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. It is definitely shirt sleeve weather, and the hot weather makes you tired. I don't think that young lady's going to make full 9 innings tonight.
She might have been at the game yesterday. She's worn out.
Fegley to lead it off against Kazmir, and the first pitch is a bit outside. Fegley, Reddick, and Smolinski here in the second inning. He's had a couple of hits in the first, but could not get an RBI hit off Scott Kazmir. in the air to center. Gomez is under it. Gomez has it, 1 out.
Josh a little frustrated. Think he got a pitch he thought he could handle, and he does a little bat flip, and just a little bit unhappy with himself.
So here's Reddick. Lefty on lefty, and the first pitch, strike down around the knees. So a low strike called there by Brian Honora. Reddick hitting .276 with 15 home runs and 66 RBIs. Last couple months, he's really done a good job hitting left-handers. Struggled a little bit with that early in the year, but not anymore. Chops this one. Altuve in front of Correa, and he throws to get Reddick. So it goes as a 4-3 put out.
Batting in the 8th position, left fielder.
And with that shift, a little awkward. Correa coming over, but Altuve says, "I got it, kid."
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. So with 2 outs, Jake Smolinski hits. Hit foul right side. So Kazmir looking for a little easier inning this inning than he had in the first. He worked hard in the first.
I think if I remember right, though, Josh was a little vocal about not playing against lefties, and you know, in his case, I mean, he really has swung the bat a lot better, and that's what you do.
Exactly. To his credit, you're right. He said, "I want to play more against lefties,"
and that's all fine and dandy, but you got to show them, hey, I've earned it.
And he did. 2-1 to Smolinski. .33 pitches for Scott Kazmir. So first inning did him in a little bit there. Kazmir, like most good pitchers, you just don't want him to get in a rhythm, because when he gets in one of those good rhythms, he can go 5-6 innings and
quick, in a blink,
down.
In a blink.
Setting up outside on 3-2. And it is a bit outside. So 2-out walk. So interesting note here on Scott Kazmir and the opponent's batting average, but the opponent's right-handed hitters. And Scott Kazmir, 8th on that list, and righties hitting just .211 against him. Is that just the changeup?
Good changeup, and that slider down back foot. Yep. And that changeup makes us, you know, he's already got a live heater and he puts it in a good spot, but it makes it a little bit more livelier. 93. That changeup's a good one to righties, and that's why he is successful against them.
And you do not see him come in with his fastball very often. He usually tries to spot his fastball outside and then almost follow that up with a changeup outside.
You're right.
But very seldom does he come inside with a fastball.
Yeah, and the only time he does is with that back foot slider, and it's usually for a ball.
Good pitch there at 91 miles an hour.
But he just dots that outside corner.
He does.
And he feels real comfortable with it. And he stands, if you see on the rubber, he's on the side of the right-hand hitter, so he kind of angling it away from them, and he spots it up, and it's a tough pitch to hit.
So he stays right out there with another fastball. But if you watch him pitch, just watch how often he throws a fastball in. And maybe if he does throw it in, it's well off the plate in.
Right.
There's the slider that Xavi's talking about, that hard one that throw at that back foot of a right-handed hitter, and you get a lot of hitters swing right over top of it.
And he starts this one just a little bit too low and out of the zone, and Marcus recognizes it early.
On the ground to third. Now he scoops, throws to second, side retired. So a runner left for the A's, and we're on to the third inning. No score between the A's and the Astros.
Baseball is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, scores, statcast, live radio broadcasts, and more. Get the MLB.com app, bat app now.
No score, top of the third inning. The gentlemen look like they're enjoying the ball game.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
Old Vietnam vet right there. Very nice.
We had good stuff going on there. A's hat. Get the elephant hat. Saw a Yankee hat there.
Yeah, the outcast. What's he doing?
How did he get in here? On the ground is Simeon, who has it. Throws in time, and Springer is retired. One away. And that'll bring up Jose Altuve.
Now batting, number 27, Jose Altuve.
Altuve hit a fly ball to right field in the first inning. Just one hit allowed by Sonny Gray. He did walk a couple in the second. Got himself in trouble. Got himself out of trouble. Inside corner strike, 92 miles an hour. Altuve once again leading the American League in hits with 167, leading the American League in steals with 36. 18 times this year he has had 3 or more hits in a game. Check this swing. Most hits in the majors since 2012. Jose Altuve has the most. And look at the guys underneath: Cano, Cabrera, Beltre, McCutchen, and Jones.
That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive. And you know what? He doesn't walk a lot.
Yeah.
He's up there swinging. So,
right.
And he may chase out of the strike zone, but he has the ability to still get hits doing that. So the walks are almost not part of his deal. He's walked 29 times this year.
Right. He's just got good hand-eye coordination and the ability to put the barrel to the ball.
Like that.
Yep. And that was way out of the zone.
Watch where this pitch is that he fouls, and it wasn't that far from being a base hit, but look where it is. It's letter high.
And he barreled it up, too.
He holds those hands high. Looks like he uses a pretty good sized bat.
A pretty decent sized barrel, too, so.
Shallow center. Burns comes hustling in, and Burns will use that great speed to make the play. 2 away here in the third, and Carlos Correa with it.
Now batting,
Carlos Correa hit a fly ball to right field in the first.
Carlos Correa.
1 for 5 yesterday, but one hit, a home run. He had 4 RBIs on the afternoon.
Big homer too. In a clutch opportunity, and that's twice he's done that.
This is game number 76 in the career of Carlos Correa. That was not a cheapie. Still amazing that he's only 20 years old. He's a good sized young man too. Simeon charges to get a good hop. Side retired. Sonny Gray with a 3 up, 3 down inning. He's retired 5 in a row. Bottom of the third coming up. No score. Roaring Camp Railroads, whether it's a steam train through the Redwoods or a beach train to Santa Cruz, Roaring Camp is the ride of a lifetime. Altuve and Reddick, how about that? They seem to be getting along. Bottom of the third. And the top of the order for the A's, Burns against Kazmir. Rangers with an early lead up in Seattle. Texas 4, Mariners 1 in the third inning. We give that score for the Astros fans that could be watching our broadcast. Try to help everybody out. Astros with a 2-game lead over the Rangers. Those two teams, Astros, Rangers, pride of Texas, will have 7 games left against each other. That'll be fun baseball to watch.
I'm not right. Texas has got the better of them in that matchup head-to-head so far.
Yeah, 8-4, I believe.
Yeah, so that's not looking good for Houston.
So this is what the Astros have done against the rest of the West. So there's the 4-8 record against the Rangers, but good against the Angels, good against the Mariners, and 7-7 against the Athletics. So you're right, the Rangers number, that's going to have to change for the good
on this road trip.
That's right. To Texas for 4 next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So the Astros are going to have a fun final 24 games. 0-2 pitch, driven to left center. Nobody's going to get that one, and that baby is gone. Billy Burns, home run number 4, and the A's take a 1-0 lead. He went to the big boy part of the ballpark there.
Wow, yeah, I'm a little surprised. I didn't know he had that in the tank. He's trying to change how they chart him, how they play him with a hit chart, but my goodness, that is big boy territory right there, and that was a line drive out off the back wall too in center. Pretty impressive.
So A's grab a 1-0 lead.
It was
the pitch was.
It was a fastball, and he just took the head to it. And if this ball doesn't go out, this is a stand-up triple for him easy because of where Gomez was playing him. But man, off the back wall, very nice.
Lowry backhands, drops it, but calmly picks it up and throws out Canna. Fourth home run of the year. First home run not hit in the first pitch. Did it to Felix Hernandez in Seattle. First pitch, gone.
He really has had a great year. Kind of came out of nowhere. Nobody really knew too much about him, and ever since he got here, he's really sparked this club. A little timid at first, maybe in center field. Wasn't quite sure about himself, but the confidence has been growing. Just like much of these days. Canna, same thing. Some of these young guys getting an opportunity to play and taking advantage of it.
Lowry way out in front, hooks it foul.
Guy's missing some sleeves.
Outside corner, 2-2. He struck out in the first inning, and he strikes out again. A called third strike. Lowry chatting with Brian O'Nora. So 2 strikeouts tonight for Scott Kazmir.
Looked like Brett might have been looking for something those last 2 pitches. Fastballs right down the middle.
Now batting third baseman.
Maybe trying to anticipate what Kazmir would throw. I think he's a little bit unhappy with himself, and he goes back and look at those pitches that were right there.
So 2 outs for Valencia. That's that outside corner again, though, huh, with Kazmir?
Painting it.
Makes you believe, too, Eric, if you're a right-handed hitter, and you were a left-handed hitter, but using the thought process, wouldn't you just look away?
Yeah, you give up the inside part of the plate and you look away. Absolutely.
He came inside there, and the ball's bounced to Valbuena. Valbuena steps on first, side retired, but the A's get on the board, Check out this home run from the leadoff man, Billy Burns, deep left center field, off the back wall, and the A's lead 1-0.
Final home series of the 2015 season when the A's play host to their Cross Bay rivals from September 25th through the 27th. Come out and sport the green and gold as the A's close out this year's home slate. Get your tickets now online at athletics.com/tickets or by calling 510-638-GO-A's.
Billy Burns with a home run, and it's 1-0 the A's lead, top of the 4th inning. Gomez, Lowry, and Gaddis against Sonny Gray. Gray has retired 5 in a row. Gomez had a double leading off the 2nd inning. He was stranded. Outside corner, first strike. 43 pitches so far for Sonny. Pretty good in shutdown inning opportunities. 40 out of 50.
I think he's pretty good in every category. I know he struggled the last few starts, but he's still second in ERA. That's pretty impressive.
Valencia playing in, reaches down, has it. So 1 away. A's 2016 schedule was announced earlier today. Just a few of the bullet points. The season opener will be Monday, April 4th against the White Sox. Play the Giants 4 times. And it'll be in interleague. It'll be the A's playing the National League Central. Early on, we'll be on the East Coast a lot. And the A's will finish on the road. Angels, Mariners. Just a couple of notes about the 2016 A's schedule. Again, Monday, April 4th, the White Sox will be here at the Coliseum to open up that season. One 1-0 to Lowry, 2-0 to Lowry. A's will have a 4-game series against the White Sox at home, and then go to Seattle for the first weekend, and then come right back home to play the Angels and the Royals. So a little bit of an interesting twist early on. A's will go to New York, Toronto, and Detroit from April 19th through the 28th, and come home for a week and then go back out to Baltimore, Boston, and Tampa Bay. So getting rid of the East Coast trips early. 3 city East Coast trips. I think most players would be okay with that if you're going to go to the East Coast. And I'm talking about a West Coast team.
Right.
If you're going to go east, let's play 3 teams and come back.
I'd agree with you. I'd rather do it in May than April, just with the weather.
Sure. 2-2 pitch. Inside, 3-2.
I remember logging a few years back with the A's. We had logged the most miles ever by a team, and I think we ended up going back to the East Coast 4 times.
Well, we could talk about the schedule for a long time. The mileage, yeah, usually stacks up for the West Coast teams, especially the Mariners and the A's. The Lowry's retired, so 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning.
Now batting.
And it'll all be here before you know it. In fact, the A's first spring training game is Thursday, March 3rd. So for those spring training folks out there, and there's certainly a lot of them, March 3rd in Tempe against the Angels. So you can write that down. Two away for Evan Gattis. A little outside.
We talked a little bit yesterday after the game, Sean Doolittle, and we asked him a question about, his role with the bullpen, and I talked about September being a big month for them, even though they're out of it. They got to set the tone. Sonny, Doolittle, maybe Reddick in the outfield for their position players, but they got to teach these guys how to be professionals and how to go about their business, and it's a learning experience. If nothing else, that's what they got to take away, is how to be a big leaguer, how to go about your business. This looked like a backup curveball. I don't know if it got the zone. That looked like a favorable call for Sonny.
2 pitch is outside. 2-2.
But I think definitely Sonny and Doolittle have been around long enough to kind of take the reins of this clubhouse and set the tone. Try to create that winning environment moving forward. They've won here the last 3 years, and this year's kind of been a down year for them, but you got to reset.
Fouled straight back on a high fastball. Sonny's retired 7 in a row. Straightaway defense for Evan Gattis. Good breaking ball, strike 3 call. Second strikeout for Sonny Gray, and he's now retired 8 in a row. Bottom of the 4th coming up. It's the A's with a 1-0 lead over the first place Astros. Transylvania 2 in theater September 25th. Billy Butler, first pitch swinging, drives one over the head of Springer and off the wall. Springer grabs it, fires into second base, and Butler is out. What a play by Springer. I mean, he hustled back and he got it clean off the wall, and he set himself and he made a perfect throw.
Yeah, jumping on the first pitch, drives it off the wall, takes a good bounce right to Springer, throws a bullet right to second, and I want to kind of key in right now a little bit on Billy's route, rounding first base. The shortest point between two bases is a straight line, and he needs to cut that base just a little bit more. And we know he doesn't have the best of speed, but your route running needs to be a little bit, your base running needs to be a little bit more direct. And that was what kind of cost him the double.
So here's Fegley. Fegley pops one toward right center, and Springer will have this one. 2 outs.
Yeah, this was a really good throw. One hop throw. It's Correa right there.
Now batting right fielder.
It's a really good play.
Josh Reddick.
He's going to win some Gold Gloves out there in right field pretty soon.
To his 5th assist this season, and we've seen him make some unbelievable catches crashing into the wall. 0-1 to Reddick, who bounced out to Altuve, and that was back in the 2nd inning. Kazmir at 61 pitches.
Yeah, definitely running the bases. Hit that inside of the bag on first with your right foot, push off, and get going towards second. Take out that loop, and I think you would have had a better chance of being safe.
Now it's 3-1. Reddick hits a high pop-up. Marisnick hustling in. Marisnick using his great speed. He makes the catch in foul territory. Side retired. 5th inning coming up. It's the A's 1 and the Astros 0. Got his first save since September 19th of last year, and he had a heck of an inning. A couple of pop outs, and he was facing good hitters as well. And then Carlos Gomez stepped up with 2 outs And Doolittle strikes him out. 5 pitches is all it took. 5 pitches, 5 strikes, and a save for Sean Doolittle. A nice conversation with him after the game. But boy,
real happy for him.
He's been waiting a while, and he was. You know what? He was psyched. You could tell.
Yeah, and there's had to have been a few times when he's went out there where the doubt kind of crept in a little bit, but I think he said it yesterday, and I think we all noticed it too in Arizona. Something just clicked for him, and he turned the page really fast.
Valbuena to lead it off, and then Conger and Marisnick here in the 5th. The only run in the game, if you're just joining us, Billy Burns' home run in the 3rd. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for Gray. Rangers now leading Seattle 6-1 in the 4th inning. The starting pitching matchup there, Cole Hamels for Texas and Tawan Walker for Seattle. So the Rangers won last night 3-0. That's where they picked up a game on the Astros. So they're probably just occasionally sneaking a look at the scoreboard to see what's going on here in Oakland.
All those teams are.
Angels at it again with the Dodgers. It's the Dodgers 2, Angels 1 in the 4th inning. That's Kershaw and Heaney. Dodgers won last night 7-5, so they're closing in on the National League West. Very hot down the stretch. There's a shot into right field, a base hit. Leadoff single for the Astros here in the 5th. So we were not the only ones, though, a couple nights ago, talking about the expanded rosters and whether they should be changed or not.
Number 16.
Yeah. Good swing by Valbuena.
This was a good swing on a fastball down. Little bat flip to finish it off.
So here's Conger. First pitch to Conger, fouled at the plate, but just read a couple of small stories about the Angels-Dodgers game last night, and that was the theme of how the expanded roster really made for what was was not a good game.
How many pitchers were used?
16 pitchers were used in the Dodgers-Angels game last night. 16.
You're right. It changes the integrity of the game. You're right.
The game took 3 hours and 52 minutes. Again, the final score 7-5. 16 pitchers. 1-1 to Conger. Big at bat in this game early. The Astros had the bases loaded, 1 out in the 2nd, and Conger struck out. Nice block by Fegley, stays right in front of him. Marisnick to follow, and then it would be the top of the order, Springer.
So what was your idea? Add 2 pitchers and a position player? Is that what you said?
Put a limit on how many you can add.
Yeah.
Whether you want to make it.
So a total of 3.
You can add however you can add whoever you want.
Right.
Only 3 or 2 or whatever you want.
Right.
Or you could say, okay, you can add 2 pitchers, 1 position player. I just don't think it should be open-ended where you can just have as many
I
as you
agree.
want.
Absolutely agree with you.
Popped up. Canna. He'll wait for this one to come down. He's got him wrong. So Conger is retired.
And this was a pretty high pop-up. If there was a roof, it might have hit it. You got to make sure you stay with it. If you mark it right under it, absolutely put that ball right on your face. Put your nose right underneath the ball. He did the right thing. He's a good outfielder too, and pretty easy transition. He made a nice play over there by the stands yesterday.
So with one out, Valbuena still at first. Here's Marisnick. Marisnick fouled out in the second inning. Watching Marisnick play this year with the Astros, he strikes me as a guy, Shabby, who, if he could ever put it all together offensively, he could be a really good player.
Yeah, because his defense, he's absolutely a outstanding defensive player.
And he really is good in the outfield.
And he does have tools offensively. He's got speed. He can run. And he can go deep, too. He's got some power in that bat.
And he's playing a fair amount this year, but he's got 18 stolen bases to go along with his 9 home runs. Well foul, way out.
Yeah, they really, the Astros did put a team together just full of athletes. They can do different things, run, hit, throw.
Well, you notice it with their defense. They're a very good defensive team, and it's one of those defenses that, well, they do not make a lot of errors, but they also cover a lot of ground.
They do. They take a lot of hits away, and that's huge. I remember when we were playing Seattle a few years in the early 2000s, but their outfield was tremendous, and it was, you know, we'd hit balls in the gap thinking they're stand-up doubles, and the ball's coming in the second. You'd have to retreat back, and that's huge, preventing a double, giving the pitcher an opportunity to get a double play ball. And that's the type of outfield that the Astros have. And you're right, they take away a lot of hits with the positioning and the charts that they have, and it's a good combination.
Checked his swing, and he did not go. So 3-2 the count.
Sonny went with that hard curveball, and that was pretty close too, but I do think he checked his swing right there. Nice block by Josh.
So 3-2. See if A.J. Hinch starts a runner. Valbuena,
he's not getting much of a lead.
No, he got a short lead. He inches off a little bit, but running, and broken bat, rolled foul. A little chunk of the bat flew a little ways up the third base line.
Well, there was a shot there of A.J. Hinch, the manager, and you got to say what a great job that he's done. He's really made the adjustment where he was kind of thrown into that manager's job in Arizona with not much notice, not much preparation, and kind of went into that blindly, and it didn't go well for him. Was able to sit back for a couple years, and I think he learned from it. It was a learning experience, and now he's got these guys playing pretty good baseball.
Three-two pitch, got him swinging. So Marisnick strikes out. Third strikeout for Grant. 2 away here in the 5th.
And there's not too many good curveballs in the league. Felix Hernandez maybe, but Sonny's got one of the better ones. 3-2. Not even close to being a strike, and Jake not able to lay off of it. That's a tough pitch right there.
He's correct. 3. 2 swinging, 1 looking. Pitch to Springer, hit up the middle into center field for a hit. So a couple of hits in the inning for the Astros, 3 in the game. So Altuve will hit.
I was watching George take batting practice today and then hit on it a little bit yesterday. It looked like his timing wasn't quite there yet. He hadn't had a lot of games at bats in the minor leagues after missing 2.5 months, and it doesn't look like it's quite exactly where he wants it to be. And it's a different feeling, man, when you break a bone, and he broke something in his wrist, and it takes time. He's not going to come back swing the bat like before he was injured. And he's got to convince himself that everything feels good and there's no fear up there of getting hit again, and he's got to get his timing back.
Altuve hits one in the air, right center, long run for Reddick, and he will get there. He makes the catch. Side retired, so 2 stranded for the Astros. Bottom of the 5th coming up. 1-0. A's lead.
It's the
The home of the official post-game show of the team, Sunday to Sunday. The home of authentic Raiders fans is CSN. It all starts for real. I guess Thursday night's the first NFL game, and then the first Sunday coming up. So 1-0. Jake Smolinski to lead it off here for the A's in the bottom of the 5th. The Raiders will open up right here at the Coliseum against the Cincinnati Bengals. Smolinski drives one down the right field line, but foul. So 0-2. Simeon to follow, and then Burns here in the 5th. Smolinski walked in this second inning. That's the only walk issued by Kazmir. He's got a couple of strikeouts. tries to hold up, can't do it. So Smolinski is the strikeout victim number 3 for Kazmir. He just could not quite hold up.
It just was a little bit off the plate, and yeah, I think he offered. Let's see if that barrel crosses. Yep, he went.
Slider for a strike.
No, that game yesterday, if the Astros could have pulled it off, I think really could have been a big win for them.
No question.
Now they come in today having to beat Sonny Gray. They don't play well on the road. They got a 10-game road trip. They got to play the Texas Rangers. It's amazing what one big game in September can do. I don't think they feel all that comfortable, to be honest with you, and they shouldn't. They've played well. They've held on to the lead for quite some time now, and it's theirs to lose.
And the Rangers are hard charging. I mean, played baseball for a while now.
And the Rangers got to feel pretty good. That head-to-head matchup, they got their number a little bit, and I bet you they're eyeing that 4-game. They're looking forward to that matchup.
So a 1-out walk. And now here's Burns. This is what Burns did in the 3rd. Check this out.
He's going big fly. That was just a really good poke right there. It's a good poke for anybody, but a leadoff guy kind of slaps it around and just reminding people, hey, I got a little pop in my bat too, boys.
First pitch to Burns shows bunt, and the pitch is low. Lowry in on the grass at 3rd. One sliced foul down the right field line. Dodgers still leading the Angels 2-1 in the 5th inning. Angels are 3.5 games behind the Rangers in the wild card race. Angels can't seem to get anything going consistent.
No, they really can't. That's kind of surprising. I'm really surprised at that. I don't know if it's their starting pitching or what it is, but they got the best player in the game. They got the best player of the last 15 years probably on that team. They got Calhoun, who's swinging an outstanding bat, and it's a little puzzling. I really thought they were going to make a second-half run, and they've kind of faltered here late.
Now they're 69 and 68. Runner goes. Throw to second base. Not in time. Stolen base for Simeon. Marcus stole some bases early in the year. Has not stolen a lot lately, but he gets number 11 here.
Yeah, and he picks kind of a bad time to go. Kazmir slide steps. Normally as a base stealer, even if you got the green light, if he slide steps, you shut it down. But he slides to the back of the bag, keeps his foot down. Able to sneak one in there.
You know, Shabby, we've seen that slide this year where the front leg pops up and over the bag. And I know Ray and I have talked a lot about the proper way to slide. And watch this. Straight in.
Straight down.
And watch the foot hit the bag.
Yep.
And then the foot doesn't go anywhere if it hits that front part of the bag.
Right. No, that was a perfect slide to the back side of the bag. Keep your front foot down.
And once your foot hits that bag right there, make sure it doesn't pop up and go up and over.
Exactly. And that has to do with timing and how far away from the bag or how close you decided to go. But it really is a lost art. You're supposed to practice it in spring training,
but the bag should, if you slide like Simeon just did, the bag will stop you.
Yeah. And you pop up.
And then you pop up.
Pop up, yeah.
I always thought Ichiro was a terrific slider. He did it
fantastic.
perfect.
And he always slid with his feet first.
Feet first,
yeah.
Right straight to the bag.
Yeah,
and he would just pop up nice and easy.
You're absolutely right. Base running and sliding are so important. Take it for granted.
Base hit right field. And Simeon's going to be held up. Springer comes up throwing. So Burns gets a base hit. First and third, one out. The Springer playing, as we've mentioned a couple times, extremely shallow, and that helped him there.
Definitely. And this is Wash knowing that they do that. They're going to play Billy in. Springer charges hard. Once this ball was fielded cleanly, it was an easy decision to stop him right there. Like I said, you want to force the issue at times, but you just don't want to give away outs. And Wash moving down the line, getting a good look at the ball. But once that clean exchange happens, you shut it down.
So 79 pitches for Kazmir. He has not had a 3-up, 3-down inning today. Now, he did have the Butler inning where Butler led off the inning with a single and then tried to stretch it to a double and was thrown out. So I guess technically that's not a 3-up, 3-down inning, but pretty darn close. That was last inning. So here's Canna. Sonny's pitching well, so even an insurance run or two could make a big difference in this game.
That's a hot hitter right here. I think this is a good hitter for the A's right now. Swinging a good bat. Had a good homestand.
Long look by Kazmir. And now he delivers, and it's inside. Single and a ground out for Canna. Canna deep to left, down the left field line, and that baby is gone. And that's a 3-run shot for Mark Canna, and the A's lead 4-0.
Just talked about Mark being the right hitter right now at the right time, swinging a hot bat, going the other way, and not missing those fastballs high up in the zone. That's a second home run deep to left.
Altuve throws, and they just get Laurie for out number 2. Here's the home run.
And it looked like a cutter in off the plate. Wasn't a terrible pitch. Not even sure that it was a strike, but Mark keeps his hands in. And he's got big boy power to left field right there. Swinging extremely hot bat for the A's right now.
I think if you think about the 2 hits by Canna tonight, Xavi, were the first one, he just went to right field.
Yeah.
Was looking that way. This one pulls his hands in a little bit and hits it down the left field line.
Yeah, there's a lot of offensive ability in there too, and he's athletic too. He's probably the most athletic first baseman right now. He can play the outfield, he can run. But yeah, there's a high ceiling in there for Mark Canna for sure, using the whole field. Talked about maybe the A's hitters having a little bit of advantage knowing Kazmir. Has been the case tonight.
Altuve with the shift on comes in, makes the play right around the bag and throws Valencia out, but big damage done by that man Mark Canna. Watch him pull the hands in and lift off to left. 3-run shot. 6th inning coming up. A's 4, Astros nothing.
final Throwback Thursday presented by Chevron Extra Mile. At this Throwback Thursday, 5,000 fans will receive a commemorative Coco Crisp button. For tickets and information, go to athletics.com/Thursday.
So Mark Canha, a 3-run homer, and he's now lead 4-0 over the Astros, trying to make it 2 in a row. The first place team in the AL West. And Sonny Gray on the mound, so starting to feel pretty good about it. Top of the 6th, Correa, Gomez, Lowry. Sonny has thrown 74 pitches through 5 innings. First pitch right in there, first strike. Swinging A's, 14 straight games with a home run. At least one home run. That will hit off the end of the bat, foul. Last 2 starts for Sonny Gray before tonight. 6 runs in 5 innings, actually not before tonight. That includes tonight. Much different show. This one for Gray. Trying to get the 13th one of the year. 0-2 pitch curveball that stayed high.
I know Huddy had a little run there when the team would score him at least 3 runs, and his record was phenomenal. And Sonny's kind of got a little streak of that too. And A's able to just get him 3 runs. He's able to shut the door down and get the win. I think only twice he has lost when they have scored 3 runs. Yeah, there you go.
27-2.
Get him 3 runs. Huddy's was like 90 something, and it was unbelievable.
Pitch a little high. Tim Hudson must have been fun to play behind, especially for a third baseman.
Awesome
with his sinker.
Yeah,
right-handed hitters.
Mulder too, that sinker, split finger. Zito with the changeup.
And you were going to get a lot of action at third with all 3 of them.
I knew it. I was ready for it too.
Reach for it, driven toward left center, but Burns slides over to make the catch.
You know, I always made sure too when those guys were pitching, I'd always ask the catcher, you know, hey, what's Mulder's split doing today? Sometimes it would be down and in, sometimes it'd be down and away, and I would adjust accordingly on how that pitch was working that day.
How long would you wait into the game before you would ask?
Second or third inning. Oh yeah, right away. What's it doing?
So his splitter was not necessarily one that was always going to go straight down. It had a little movement to it one way or the other. One to 0 to Carlos Gomez, a double and a ground out. Swing there by Gomez.
It's good to have those conversations with your pitchers and catchers as an infielder, even an outfielder. You know, Brad Ziegler, who was here in Oakland and in Arizona, with that sinker ball, you would think there would be a lot of balls from right-handed hitters that would be pulled down the line, but Brad made it a point to say, nobody pulls me. They hit the ball up the middle, so I want people to shade up that way. And, you know, he'd let the shortstop know that, and lo and behold, the ball would be right up the middle.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
He's coming out of his shoes. He's getting unglued right now, trying to go where Canha went. But down 4-0, you just want to get on base, start a rally.
Tries to hold up, and he does.
hold up. There's been some close check swings tonight. The crew has been pretty good. Mark Rippinger at first, Brian Honor behind the plate.
Good. Maybe a little slider or cut fastball, but a good pitch, and Sonny Gray gets strikeout number 4.
And I think it was the cutter, a little hard for a slider, but it just took off at the last second, and Carlos not able to put the barrel on it. Sonny too. Sonny's fastball, sometimes you don't know what it's going to do. Sometimes it'll dart off, up. Sometimes it'll dart down, and I think that's what makes him so tough. It's hard for hitters to barrel that up. You don't know where it's going to go. You see that one went kind of down. But he's got a fastball where he throws it, it'll ride up and cut on you, and then he's got that nasty curveball.
0-1 to Lowry. 0 for 2 for Jed Lowry.
But even Sonny too. Sonny doesn't light up the radar gun, but his stuff would tell you differently. And the ball's just coming out hot when it comes out of his hand. That curveball is spin rate, call it whatever you want. It's a good breaking ball. And even that fastball at 91 just has some good life to it.
High in the air toward Burns, who drifts into right center field. And he's got it, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning with a strikeout for Sonny Gray. Bottom of the 6th coming up. A's 4, Astros nothing.
Rewind. It's Billy Burns going deep to center for his 4th home run of the year. Kaz can't believe it. And Mark Canha pulling his hands in on a cutter for a 3-run home run. And Sonny Gray going for his 13th win, beating his old friend and pal Scott Kazmir. Trying to break that 0-3 loss he's got going right now, and he's looking pretty good. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world.
Billy Butler to lead it off for the A's in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kazmir at 85 pitches. The bullpen is quiet right now for the Astros. Butler, Fegley, and Reddick. Rangers now leading 7-1 in the 6th inning up in Seattle.
Yeah, and you're right. The Astros have a good view of that too.
Oh yeah.
It's not a good feeling that's going on right now, I'll tell you that. The pressure's going to mount. Every game's going to be that much more important.
Dodgers leading the Angels 6-1 in the 6th inning. There's a shot left center field, a base hit. So Billy Butler has his 2nd hit. All right, we got in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan. Know it all with Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by Hyundai. It's tonight at 10:30, and it's on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. So the Raiders getting set for the Bengals. The 49ers getting set for the Minnesota Vikings. And Steph Curry's in China. Ahmed Fareed and Dave Feldman will host. First pitch to Fegley. Slider that stays high. Fly ball to center and a fly ball to right for Fegley. Fegley getting a chance to catch a little bit more lately. Of course, Stephen Vogt out again. Stephen Vogt not at the ballpark tonight again. Still at home, resting comfortably. Probably watching the game. And if he is, we miss Stephen Vogt. We believe in Stephen Vogt, and we miss Stephen Vogt. See Chad Qualls warming up. But it sounds like Vogt, pretty good chance he'll be at the ballpark tomorrow. He is scheduled to get on the charter on Thursday with the A's to start a long road trip. A's will go to Arlington to play the Rangers, then to Chicago for the White Sox, and then back down to Texas to play these Astros. So that's the trip. Texas, Illinois, Texas. You ask Mickey Morabito about that? Get his feelings out. Center field. Backing up is Gomez, and he's got it. So out number one here in the 6th inning. And that'll bring up Reddick.
Right fielder, number 22, Josh Reddick.
So we like to keep a close eye on that AL East as well, which is a pretty good race. The Blue Jays won 5-1 in 10 innings at Fenway. So it was a 4-run 10th inning for Toronto. So a Blue Jays win, and the Yankees lost. Orioles 2, Yankees 1. Chris Davis with a solo home run in the 9th inning to break the 1-1 tie.
He's hit some big homers late. He really has.
41 home runs for Chris Davis. And Alex Rodriguez hit another one. His 30th of the year, 684 in his career. So Alex Rodriguez is hot. So he's got 4 home runs in his last 5 games, A-Rod. Marisnick's under it, and Marisnick has it. So 2 outs here in the 6th inning. So with that Blue Jays win, Yankees loss, Toronto now has a game and a half lead over the Yankees.
And the Yankees also losing Nathan Eovaldi for a certain amount of time, and he's been their best starter, at least in the win column. He's benefited from a lot of runs, but that's definitely going to hurt them. CeCe's already been down for a certain amount of time. He might be coming back here in a little bit.
Valbuena into foul territory. Valbuena has it, side retired. So Butler with a leadoff single, nothing else. And we're through 6 at the Coliseum. 4-0 A's lead. Andujar passed away, just 62 years old. Joaquin Andujar spent a couple years with the Athletics. As you see him in the A's uniform. He was there in 1986 and 1987. He was at his best with the St. Louis Cardinals, and he was part of the 1982 World Series team, and that is the World Series right there. And he was not afraid to drop down and throw it from everywhere. So just 62 years old. So sad to see Joaquin Andujar go. Came up with the Astros in 1976. So he was an all-star 4 times, won a Gold Glove, 20-game winner a couple times, and he's got a World Series ring. So the Astros come to bat here in the top of the 7th inning. Gaddis, Valbuena, and Conger. Gaddis fouls it straight back. Gaddis a walk and a strikeout. Simeon should have this one, and he does. So 1 out. So 6 1/3 shutout innings so far for Sonny Gray, and because we want Sonny to A, win the Cy Young, B, win the ERA title, C, both.
Yeah.
So we're keeping a close eye on the ERA title. So he has just slid past Dallas Keuchel for the best ERA in the American League. See, I think Keuchel knows. I saw some. He looked a little unhappy.
These pitchers know, man. They know.
Oh yeah, he knows that Sonny's close.
Yeah. They know how to calculate the runs too, the earned runs. And
Burns on the move. He'll get there. 2 outs. Well, I don't think the year Dallas Keuchel's having, I don't think he's going to be upset about anything.
I don't think so either. He's absolutely dominated at home. I don't even know if he's lost at home this year.
Yeah, he's been terrific. So he will not pitch in this series. Sonny Gray, 92 pitches so far. The really only tough inning was the second when he threw 22. And turns out that was a huge inning because the Astros had the bases loaded and 1 out and did not score. Conger takes a first pitch strike. Six in a row retired by Sonny Gray. Conger has struck out and he has fouled out. Only 3 hits for the Astros. Gomez had a double in the second, and then Valbuena a single in the 5th, Springer a single in the 5th, but those 2 guys were stranded. Conger not hit real hard, but it gets through into center field for a hit. 2-out single for Marisnick, and Marisnick's being called back.
It looked like he did catch this off the end of the bat right there. Takes a big swing, big follow through, and he does. He almost hits it right off the end of the bat.
So Preston Tucker, left-handed hitter, is going to hit for Marisnick. Tucker, another talented young player for the Houston Astros, just 24 years old. In the big leagues for the first time this year. This will be our first look at Tucker in this series.
For Houston,
AJ Hinch trying to push the right buttons right now. He pushed him right yesterday. Pinch hit Jonathan Villar for Chris Carty. Ended up hitting a pinch hit homer deep to left. So just trying to jumpstart his team right now. I think AJ's is feeling the urgency too, man. They need to get this thing going.
First pitch to Tucker, and first strike. Tucker, 250. He's got 12 home runs and 32 runs batted in. He's also got 18 doubles. He's done that in 276 at bats, so pretty good production from Tucker.
Yeah, it's a little surprising too. If you like this matchup, you would think you'd want to get him 2 or 3 at bats versus Sonny, but Jake had that big home run yesterday. He's been playing extremely well for the Astros, and maybe AJ decided to go with the defense, knowing they'd be facing Sonny.
Strike 2, 0-2 to Tucker.
And this is just unfair. A backdoor curveball catches the plate. There's just nothing you can do with that as a hitter.
Playing behind Conger at first. And the pitch is line foul. It was like a slider down and in. Tucker went down to get it. So 98 pitches now for Sonny Gray. He's bullpen quiet. Toward Burns in center. He'll play it on a hop. So on an 0-2 pitch, Tucker singles. 2 on, 2 out for the Astros, and it'll be Springer.
Well, the move pays off. AJ pushes the right button, gets a good swing off of a high fastball up out of the zone. The key pitch was that last at bat. That curveball was a decent curveball down out of the zone, and Tucker put the barrel on it. Didn't miss this high fastball.
So here's Springer. Springer has lined out, he has grounded out, and he has singled. He's 2 for 7 in the series. He's got lots of power. Curveball. Springer takes it and it's low. Springer last year hit 20 home runs in 78 games. He was called up from the minor leagues.
He had a leg injury, didn't he?
He did, yep. Simeon has it. He'll shuffle it to second side, retired. So 2 more runners stranded. 7 stranded through 7 innings by the Astros. 4-0 A's as we reach the 7th inning stretch. Darryl Kyle no-hits the Mets. The final score was 7-1. He struck out 9 and walked 1. He retired the last 17 batters in front of the home crowd at the Astrodome. Jeff McKnight, who had walked, scored New York's lone run on a wild pitch after going to third on an air. Late Darryl Kyle was an all-star 3 times, 133 wins, and he's no-hitter, and there it was. He no-hit the Mets. So, unfortunately, Darryl Kyle passed away a little too early, 2002. He was a good pitcher.
Very good. Good curveball.
He was great with the Astros, and they signed a free agent contract with the Rockies. And it's never easy pitching in Colorado.
That curveball is just not as good.
And he had that big curveball too. So Chad Qualls comes in when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. 52nd appearance for the veteran right-hander Chad Qualls. Heavy sinker, and there you saw it. Action in the bullpen. Simeon takes another sinker for a strike. So Ryan Dole looks like he's going to get the 8th inning. Will Sean Doolittle get the 9th? Simeon on 3 pitches swings and misses. Nasty stuff from Chad Qualls. So there's the line for Scott Kazmir. 97 pitches, 4 runs, all earned.
Center fielder.
Gave up a couple of home runs, Burns and Canna. So Scott Kazmir will not get the win tonight, as he has been outpitched by his former teammate Sonny Gray. Here's Burns. Good night for Billy Burns. Fly ball to right, a homer and a single. He scored twice. His homer. It's the 4th of the year. A line drive right to the shortstop Carlos Correa. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Canna. Rangers 7, Mariners 1 in the 7th inning.
Now batting first baseman, number 20,
So that is what is going on up in Seattle. I think the Rangers, though, may be without Delino DeShields for just a little while. He hurt his leg sliding that game yesterday. Didn't sound like it was going to keep him out a real long time, but he's having a good year for Texas. This is Canna in the 5th inning.
It was a cutter in. Mark brought his hands in and just put a good swing for a big 3-run homer. Continues to swing a hot bat.
Now 259 the average. He's got 60 RBIs. Leads all rookies in RBIs. Correa has 50. Canna's played in quite a few more games than Correa. Oh, 2 to count. And Qualls was closer for the Astros last year. Astros really just said we're redoing our bullpen, and they got Gregerson and Ishak. Really kind of gave those 2 guys the 8th and the 9th inning. And it has made a big difference. And Gregerson has not been perfect, but they needed to redo the bullpen. It was not good last year. Now it's been very good. Second best ERA in the American League. But you did say, and I agree with you, it has struggled some lately, the bullpen.
Yeah, in the first 2.5 months, they were the best bullpen in the league. They were lights out, and just a little bit lately they've been vulnerable. And we talked about the lack of power arms.
It's a power sinker right there, and Canna strikes out. So a good inning for Chad Qualls. 3 up, 3 down. A couple of strikeouts, 4-0 A's as we go to the 8th. Well, as promised, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to CSNCA Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Tonight's fan photo is from Josh DeMayo. And that's a good-looking youngster right there. And that's a good-looking shot of the Bay Bridge. 4-0. The A's lead. It's the top of the 8th, and Sonny Gray's night is done. So Ryan Dole comes in, appearance number 5. So in a small amount of work, Dole has been very impressive. It's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So he faces Altuve, Correa, and Gomez. First pitch, a fastball a little bit inside. So Craig Gentry is now in left field, and it's good to see Craig Gentry back in the big leagues. Spent quite a bit of time in AAA Nashville this year. Altuve is going to give Gentry some action. Hit very high, but right to Gentry. First out is recorded. So Sonny Gray tonight. 101 pitches, goes 7 shutout innings, and let's get right to the ERA. Updated 2.28. So he does take over the league lead in ERA over Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel will pitch this weekend against the Angels. That's where the Astros go. 3 in Anaheim and then 4 in Texas for their road trip. Josh Fields is up. Laurie out in a shallow right, and Laurie makes the catch. So 2 outs. And that'll bring up Carlos Gomez. Really,
30, Carlos
Sonny
Gomez.
Gray got into trouble, well, it looks like 3 times, and was able to get out of it each time. Gomez a double, a ground out, and a strikeout. Fastball there, 91 miles an hour, but right on the outside corner. Nice. Don't throw it back. That's the age they throw it back. Good fastball again, 92 miles an hour. Dole looking for 3 up, 3 down inning. There's a breaking ball. Valencia throws over top, and they just get Gomez, and a nice play by Danny Valencia to retire the side. Good inning for Dole, and we're going to the bottom of the 8th. This game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 0-5-0 for the Astros, 4-7-0 for the Athletics. Scott Kazmir gave up 4 earned runs in 6 innings. Sonny Gray, 7 shutout innings, dropping his ERA to 2.28. That's good enough to lead the American League. So we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Lori Valencia and Butler against Josh Fields, the new pitcher for Astros. High fastball, 1-1. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So Fields, appearance number 46. Appearance number 45 was not a good one. That was yesterday afternoon. 1/3 of an inning, 4 hits, 4 earned runs.
Yeah, he did struggle a little bit, and I was watching him today during batting practice. He was down in the bullpen working on some stuff with a pitching coach, and it never stops. You know, I know this is September, it's been a long year, but you're continuing trying to get that feel to where everything's working for you on the mound.
So he shows a good fastball there, and Laurie strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. So he's 0 for 4. 1 out for Valencia.
We talked about power stuff. This is the one guy in that pin that does have power stuff. Mid-90s fastball, good slider. And he rears back and just throws it right by Brett right there.
Right now, the A's bullpen is quiet. So could we see Dahl out there for his 2nd inning of work?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I would have liked to have seen Doolittle come back-to-back days after yesterday to see if it's there, but Ryan Dole's throwing the ball extremely well.
And Gomez takes a hit away from Valencia with a nice running play. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Billy Butler will hit.
Designated hitter, number 16, Billy Butler.
Butler's got a couple of singles tonight. He's 2 for 3. First pitch is a fastball a little bit high. Astros will have Lowry, Gaddis, and Valbuena in the top of the 9th inning. A breaking ball by Fields. Butler's got his average now up to 252. And this one is skied toward the seats and into the 2nd row. He make that catch with his hat? That's hard to do. He's the man right now. He's the man.
See. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, out of bounds. All right. Do what you got to do. Curveball line to right. That's another hit for Butler. So Butler's 3 for 4. So that's 8 hits now for the Athletics.
A good swing and a hanging slider up in the zone. Billy waits back on it. Nice. Sees it early. Drives it to right field. He's on a hot streak right now. As is most of the A's lineup. They're swinging the bats extremely well.
After 10 runs and 10 hits last night. 4 runs, 8 hits tonight. A couple of big home runs. Fegley takes a strike.
And you can see how it's just contagious. Hitting, pitching, defense, it's all contagious, and it just takes pressures off of everybody else when guys are hitting and there's no, I got to go up there and do something.
Here's a good fastball from Fields.
Lineup really has taken off when Valencia has gotten here.
Yeah.
He's stabilized that 3-4 in the order. Cannon's been in the 2-hole. Billy's been doing his job at the top of the lineup, and they've really been productive.
Fegley tonight has hit a couple of fly balls to center and a fly ball to right. And he chased the high heater, and Fegley is retired, and so are the A's in the bottom of the 8th. So coming to bat, the Astros in the ninth. A's trying to wrap up their second win in a row. 4-0 A's lead.
Is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
So Ryan Dole back out there. He's trying to get the final 3 outs. First pitch to Jed Lowry is a little bit low. Dole had a 3-up, 3-down 8th inning, and he threw just 9 pitches in that 8th inning. 2-0. He's already lead the American League with 14 shutouts. They're looking for number 15. Get the feeling the A's are going to take a nice long look at Ryan Dole in September.
He's been impressive already.
And this is his 5th appearance. There's a strike. Fastball at 92. Delivery, and it's hit on the ground right to Laurie. He's got it, fires to first, 1 out. So Dole has retired first 4 hitters that he has faced here in the ball game, and now Evan Gattis will hit. The Mariners are trying to come back in that game. It's now 8-4 Rangers over Seattle in the 8th inning. First pitch, fastball in for a strike. Good breaking ball, just kind of slipped it in there, and it's 0-2. Gattis asks for time, steps out. Gaddis, walk, strikeout, pop out, and a good rip at that one. Looks like it got a piece of Fegley, but he seems to be okay. Side of the mask. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. Throw to first, 2 outs. So it's up to Luis Valbuena.
Now batting, number 18, Luis Valbuena.
So Ryan Dole trying to finish this game in style. He's retired 5 in a row. First pitch, just a little bit outside. Single, a walk tonight for Valbuena. Fly ball to center field. There's a strike. Valbuena didn't agree. 1-1 the count. They're ready. Lori, the second baseman, 10 feet out onto the grass in right field. Strike, and it's 1-2. He's 1 out away from beating the Astros again. One-two pitch in the dirt. Squirts away from Fegley. Tomorrow is a night game. And it'll be Colin McHugh on the mound. He will be opposed by Aaron Brooks. Colin McHugh, a 15-game winner for the Astros. 6:30 A's pregame live. We'll get you started. So make sure you join us for that. 2-2 pitch is lifted high in the air. Foul territory. Gentry's there. He squeezes it, and that's the ball game. So the A's have taken the first 2 games of the series over the first place Astros, and tonight they get their league-leading 15th shutout of the year. It took just 2 hours and 34 minutes, and Sonny Gray gets his 13th win of the year, and the final 6 outs belong to Ryan Dole. So the final score tonight from the Coliseum, the Athletics 4 and the Astros 0. You've been watching A's Baseball on CSN California, part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Brody Brazil and Sheedy Babbitt starts right now.